are listening to the Balancing Act podcast. Here's your hosts, Jamie Wonko and Joe Vitale.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, guess what? We're officially recording. Listen, we're punchy today, people.
We are punchy.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Balancing Act podcast. I am Jamie Wonko here with Mr. Joseph Vitale. Joe Punch Vitale.
Yeah, we're just, I'm on the struggle bus, girl. I think
You are?
Yeah.
What are you struggling with?
It's Maycember. You know how it is. It's like all the things.
Maycember is amazing.
Yeah, we just talked about
Dates on the calendar.
Yeah, and it's like, it's my mom's birthday. It's the kid's birthday. It's graduation. It's graduation at school for my wife. So she's got end of the semester. And
she's got to wear that weird puffy hat.
Yeah, the Order of the Exalted Water Buffalo is what it is. It's like isn't that a Flintstones reference? Is that a Flintstones reference?
I don't know, but I will say that we recently celebrated a family graduation, and it was glorious and all the wonderful, things. But after a while, it's like, oh my gosh, like I never knew there were this many names in the world. But also, they now make something that I would have loved as a teen, 22-year-old graduate, which is a headband that like sticks to the inside of your cap. So that it doesn't look, your head doesn't look weird. And then there's not like and it doesn't start falling down. So it's basically like a little square, and you peel off the sticky and you put it up into the cap. And then and I was like, oh, this is everything. I mean, really genius invention.
Do you put your name on it? So this way when you throw it in the air, you get it back? Is that like... Are we still doing that? Is that a thing?
Like the decorate. I don't know who. Although lately, Avery, my niece, had gotten this like a bedazzling kit.
Oh yes.
And Avery has been bedazzling everything. And let me just say, like, there is nothing in this world that I like more than a little sparkle.
A little bedazzling.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of something that brings sparkle and happiness.
What is it?
The Bedazzler of Auto Insurance, people. Season 3. Season 3 is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Teachers Insurance Plan. Make sure you check out their website, which is linked in our description below. For more information or to get a quote, Teachers Insurance Plan, auto insurance that brings exclusive educator savings and exceptional customer care to New Jersey and Pennsylvania educational employees. So we really didn't get a chance to talk about it. So I wanted to make sure that we talked about it, even though, we're jumping into different stuff. But, I have the magazine, okay? The NJEA Review magazine, which, a lot of times might just make it in the recycle bin after you flip through it. And wouldn't you know it, that your two favorite, and I did not mark the page, so now I'm flippy-flopping.
Is it 31?
Is it 31? Favorite, it is 32 and 33, actually.
Okay, I thought it was in the 30s.
Your two favorite podcasters, people.
Look at us.
Are in the look at us. Who are we? Are in the most recent NJEA Review magazine, where Jamie did a great job writing the article, because I know where my strengths and my weaknesses are, and I should not be writing anything.
There's a mug. I'm sorry. I have a producer that's helping me. It's a mug.
Yes,
like
it's a mug.
Drinking mug, and it's underneath, like where Avery has that giant house thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just had a producer also help me to deliver my but yes, there is something bedazzled that I need everybody to see. And it's really super important that it gets on stage. Yes. This was actually I have my copy, but it's in my backpack. This was actually like someone that works with Jason brought it in. It was like, did you know your wife has a podcast? And he was like, I had no idea. Just kidding.
That's so funny. Because that would be Jason like, oh, that must be awful for you.
Is that what she's doing?
Yeah. Is that what she's doing when she's in the bedroom with headphones on? She's not just
Okay, wait.
She's not just tuning my giant ass out.
Just to go backwards for 1 second. This is my Teachers Insurance Plan Plymouth Rock Insurance mug. Now, you remember my first one.
Yes.
Crashed in a tragic bedroom accident, right?
In a landfill somewhere. Yes.
So upset.
Yeah.
So Chris and Emma, they were so great. Yes, of course, Jamie, you can have another one. Absolutely. But if you have a teen daughter like me,
that is so dope. That is a special edition one-off.
She bedazzled the Jersey teacher part. I was like, this.
That is amazing.
Everything. This bedazzling situation has become like pretty, popular in the crafting world for the teens and tweens. And I mean, so it's just so funny. You never really know what in the house is going to end up with some sparkle. But yes, so this is
somebody might be bringing their mug into work tomorrow, and
would you like it to be bedazzled?
I mean, why shouldn't I? I mean, I think it has to be.
She would be happy to do it.
I mean, everybody needs some sparkle, don't they?
Right?
Yeah, of course. So
it's
speaking of sparkle, it's really cool to see that we're in a magazine that a bunch of teachers are going to get their hands on in New Jersey, and it's on the NJEA website, which is really cool. So. Yeah, it's just cool to be highlighted. We did some awesome stuff at the NJEA convention in interviewing the county teachers of the year, and I think this is starting to be like a really cool partnership with us, where you might see more of our content with them. You never know. So,
do you have a favorite line of the article?
My favorite line of the article is, we are basically like. Where is it? I got to find it. Now with the seagulls stealing snacks, our kids asking us for ice cream money, and the lifeguards whistling at swimmers, it wasn't a surprise when Joe leaned over in his Tommy Bahama beach chair and declared, which I do have a Tommy Bahama beach chair. Thank you, Costco. We are going to do the podcast, and we're going to call it The Balancing Act. And that's pretty much how it happened.
Exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite part.
Go ahead.
What do you think? You know what it is.
Yeah.
We are self-professed nerds, teaching nerds, interest nerds, and try-hard nerds. Nerds is a description we adore and take very seriously. Like so many of the best in our field, we believe that the better is always possible. Nerds! Nerds!
That's might be my favorite thing you do. I was talking to my daughter. We were at a recent trip to Disney World where we went to Star Wars Day. Nerds. And I explained to my daughter about that and said, yeah, it's my favorite thing Miss Wanko does. I'll just start talking about something science fiction or something, and she'll be like, nerds.
Oh, my gosh. And he recently passed away. The actor that...
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
Because my husband knows my affection for that movie. And
which is Revenge of the Nerds, people, if you haven't seen
Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
And if you've not seen it, or, I think, and I know I've mentioned this before, but like my childhood, we didn't have cable. So if we watched anything, it was on regular television, and all the stuff that was not appropriate was taken out. And now in my adulthood, there are many things that I've watched on HBO.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, that's really bad. But in my mind, it's like, it's not that bad because like they had removed all of those things for television purposes.
Exactly. That's great. Yeah.
Including
there's some
Revenge of the
nostalgia in
Nerds,
that.
but yes.
What did we watch? Just a few. Oh, we watched A Few Good Men. Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson. Does not hold the same weight without the curse words, because we were watching it on like BBC America. And there are just certain movies that need a couple F-bombs here and there.
Yeah.
And that is
one of them.
100% one of them, because it lends to the gravitas of the characters.
Really
cool
I am stoked about this article.
Yeah, me too. It's really exciting.
It's really neat. And if you, if you didn't get a copy in the mailbox, like Mr. Vitale said before, or, if somebody accidentally tossed it or something, you can certainly find it online, which is awesome. And, and so, yeah, I wonder, like, if there's an age of people, like, does everybody get one? Can you opt to only have one digitally?
I don't know. It was funny because our good friend D-Megs did come to my door, and she's like, I've been carrying this around for a couple days. I'm going to need your autograph on this, and I haven't had a chance to sign it yet because I got to figure out, like, where the hell do I sign this? So, like,
I hope you sign right over my face.
No, I want to sign over my head, but I'm going to, like, put a heart over my face for I would never sign it over your face.
That's really, it would be fine. So
or
authentic.
one of your faces. I'll put a mustache.
I know, because the
on
pictures were. I was like, I love the pictures.
Yeah.
I was so thrilled with it. the way that it looks. And of course, our editor, which we talked a little bit about, our professor that we work with, who is just, everything, and just a wonderful, wonderful writer and friend of the pod. And so we'll give her all of the accolades again. She's adorable. She said, I showed my mom and dad and said, like, look, I am famous. And they were like, your name is not here. And I was like, oh no, yeah. And so I said, no, I have to, make sure, because editing is so difficult, and I often have like a lot of thoughts and like want to get and we of course needed to trim it, and it, and that can be difficult too. And she just had such great thoughts, and she was, maybe that's going to be her next job, just editing papers and books and things like that. But yeah, she's
and it also lends it to, there's a couple of people I've talked with recently that are, talking to us about the show and about, things that we're doing. And, one person actually said, like, it's really cool that you guys found a creative outlet and you're actually like doing something with it. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to do this, but then they never put their feet to the fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
remember
it's
when
really
we first started, and that guy, Chris, I think his name was Chris, right? You were like buddies with him, and we went to
talked a little bit.
And I remember him saying, like, a lot of people start, but they just stop after so many episodes.
7 episodes. I literally remember him saying it was 7 episodes. Like, people stop. Like, normally it's like 7 episodes, and then they reach like a roadblock and they don't do it. But I remember, like, when I first released it, I was like, hey man, I just want to like let you know that we released an episode. It's the first time we've done it. Just want to send it to you. And we had like 0 listeners at the time. And he was like, congrats, you have a podcast. Like, that was his only comment to me. But no, it's really cool to think. Yes, it's really cool to think about, like, to look back on the fact that we're, getting to the end of our season 3, right? And like, we've done a lot of things that, like, we don't know what we're doing, but like, we fake it really well. You know what I mean? We're like, yeah, sure, let's do this.
Yeah.
And like analytics and numbers and ad buying and, just all things that like we're getting into now that like, okay, this is a thing. Like, we wanted to become something, and it slowly is, but I think our persistence and hard work is paying off. So
yeah, I was at a doctor's appointment with my daughter, and the doctor she's a specialist, and we see her virtually a lot. We don't see her in person as much, but we saw her in person, and she was talking about my daughter needs like a special pass or like from the nurse, because she has to drink, she's on this medication, she has to drink so much water. And she was having a lot of difficulty consuming the amount of water that she needed, especially with the bathroom situation. So I was explaining to the doctor how, and she's a mom, she has two kids. And I was explaining to her, it was like in her doctor mind, she couldn't understand why anyone would say no to going to the bathroom. And I had to explain to her about like the water bottles and the parking lot for the water bottles. And she was like, what? You kind of, because we do what we do, and you think, and and you talk to other teachers, but she was genuinely like, here's this pediatric, and she's like, what? And I was like, oh yeah, like this is, and so the note has been so helpful, and she's been able to, do what she needs to do. And we kind of got on this whole thing about kids and teaching. And she was like, there's so much I don't understand. And I was like, well, I have a teacher. It was like one of the first times like in the world of like, I was like, well, I have a podcast. And she was like, oh, and like stood there like doctoring and like took it out to follow. And I was like, amazing.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Because, it's like our job isn't really like that. Like, even when we've had meetings and things like that, where it's like, we're going to have a meeting. What's happening?
We're having a meeting. What's happening?
Right. And like, we're going to meet like in a coffee shop. There's just like, there's so many things that are so different, because we have meetings at school, but it's like usually to talk about like one specific child or something that they need, or, it's not like you don't talk about yourself and what you're doing, or your, like you said, like your numbers and yeah.
And again, we're just trying to figure it all out as we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of exciting things happening this season and recently. I think is it time that we make the big, like, I mean, I know some people follow us on social media, but is it time that we make the big announcement about where the children are heading in the fall? Is it time that we do that at this point?
Yes,
Since we're gonna
absolutely.
Yeah.
College update.
Yes, the college update time. So we are going to be meeting with
2026.
some of the college counselor people that we've had on the show before in episodes as we close out the season, for like a little recap of like if what we experienced was the norm, right? And also, you know, what's next? What are we going to experience? And I'm already getting to that where it's like, and maybe we'll talk about it. So where, and because you had a longer journey with your son, okay?
We did.
Yes.
But it was very typical of him, and it wasn't I can't say that it was like surprising to me that he like weighed his options as long as he did and kind of went through all of that. So it was really what threw a sort of wrench into it. So, you know, just like, I mean, your kids looked at a couple schools out of state. Mine was like, he had no desire to look anywhere but New Jersey. Right. So we did that. And then the acceptances came back faster than I thought they would have.
I agree.
Like way fast. And then he was waiting for TCNJ. That was the one, like, I think until January 15th. And it was like wild because whatever the very last day was to know was for early decision was the day that he found out.
Which was weird because we found out from there much sooner. So
way early. And I was following some parent groups online, and people were saying like that things were released and shouldn't have been, and like there was a glitch, or who knows, you know, what the truth is. But so you know, so it was like okay, we're waiting and it's fine. And then we thought like, oh, that's it, like decision done. And then he was like, no, I'm you know, I'm still thinking. We were like, okay. And then he went to Seton Hall and like fell head over heels in love with it. Like in a way that like I had not even a little bit anticipated. And so they also have a program, like the 3 and 2. So you can graduate with your master's in 5 years, in occupational therapy, which is what he wants to do. And we just couldn't justify the amount of money. It was going to be $30,000 a year for him to commute. And that was after we even challenged the merit. And they had given him more merit money than the original offer. So it was like, nah, you know, so kind of like back to the drawing board situation. So then it was between TCNJ and Stockton, and he chose Stockton. So nice. So we're really excited for him. You know, he had a lot of, we did get to the point where we were like, dude, like, can you just tell us already? Like, you know,
Mom wants to buy a T-shirt for the
you know,
college.
I was starting to get a little bit like, I guess because it had gone on, or just felt longer, but I wanted to know, that we were, you know, because then you kind of start getting the like, okay, it's decision day is coming and you need to sign up for Admitted Students Day and you have to go to, you know, orientation. You know, there's like thing after thing after thing after thing. But yeah, so we were, you know, he came with a list of reasons, and here they are. Would you like to hear them?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So he really liked the new science building. They just put in a whole new science building, and he really liked the whole thing. He wanted to be near the beach, which who will ever argue that? Not me. He liked the small campus. He liked that he can have his car there. As a freshman, he can take his car and keep his car. And he really liked the idea of being close to my parents. And if he has to do summer session or he decides that he's not going to live on campus, he can commute and live at my mom and dad's house. Also, the last, and of course, like, I wouldn't say that it was like unimportant, but we were trying to make the financial situation not like the only focus. But it ended up being like a $10,000 a year difference. So, you know, that made, you know, kind of a sway in that direction as well. But it was kind of like all the things. And I kept saying, like, you decide on your own. We don't want to, you know, overly influence, or, it's not my decision. I'm not going to college there, So yeah, so we went to Admitted Students Day. He's like super stoked. He's going to live on campus in a single, which is also something that my husband and I were like really wanting for him. We just think that would be better for him, and then we'll see like how it goes over time. But yeah, so go Ospreys. Here we go. We're we're excited, and
yeah.
And then of course it's like, who doesn't want to go to Atlantic City and gamble and pretend that you're visiting your child at college? So
I mean, that's you.
Boom.
For sure. Have you ever thought, I work in education, why is finding a job so weirdly hard?
Yeah, scrolling through random job boards where half the listings don't even make sense is not the vibe.
That's why NJSchoolJobs.com actually makes sense.
It's a job board built specifically for New Jersey schools, public, private, charter, and parochial.
Teachers, administrators, counselors, support staff, coaching opportunities. If your job involves a bell schedule, this site's for you.
It's free for job seekers. You can upload your resume, set job alerts, and apply without jumping through hoops.
Schools across New Jersey actively use NJSchoolJobs.com, so these are real, current openings.
They also host virtual job fairs where you can connect with multiple districts online. No driving all over the state.
Those are coming up soon, so check the link in our episode description to register.
Head to NJSchoolJobs.com.
Hey, Teacher Besties, I'm Andrea Forcum, and I am so excited to share with you that my book, They Never Taught Us That, is available right now. It is everything an experienced or first-year teacher needs to manage the chaos of the modern classroom, including some anecdotes to make you feel a little bit better. Because if there is a way that you can screw up, I've probably done it. It also has advice on how to build trust with families, how to manage grading and lesson plans and IEPs and everything else that they never went over in your teacher prep program. They Never Taught Us That is available everywhere right now.
And booyah. So go ahead. Who are you going to, you want to start? You want to do one at a time?
I mean, no, we kind of, they're a package deal.
Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, I mean, as far as like, they looked at a lot of the same schools, my kids and your son. And again, we talked about the out-of-state stuff, but really it was like schools that were similar in size to, we were comparing everything to TCNJ size-wise, okay? Program-wise, academically, stuff like that. So we looked at, there were like maybe two other schools that were kind of in the running. It was Towson, which was one of them.
That's in Maryland?
In Maryland, yeah. It's a very, very good teaching college. The number one teaching college in the state of Maryland, which I did not know until I went down there.
I don't know. I didn't know that either.
So, a really nice campus. And, not overly far. There was also an honors program that my daughter wound up getting into. My son didn't apply to it because he didn't have interest. But my daughter was like, yeah, it's cool to do that. So she applied to the honors program and wound up getting in. And that really, and I thought like that might sway her decision because of the fact that additional scholarship and choosing priority housing and also getting to choose your schedule before other students. So really you can like make sure you get the professors that you want, the classes that you want, the times that you want. So that happened, and she was weighing the options. They also both got a scholarship to Towson, which basically made it in-state tuition because, we live in New Jersey, so it'll be out of state. So, affordable. Like all the schools they were looking at were right around the same amount of money, right? Westchester we looked at out of state, but they applied to a couple like other schools that were like similar and thought like, okay, if we don't get into these, but they do get into those, then we'll go visit them. So like they were like back burner kind of schools. I mean, it's so easy to apply to these schools. It's like check a box and your stuff goes. Like that's literally what it is. I mean, my daughter had to do like an additional small essay for the honors program. Like who, it was like it didn't take that long.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
So what? Who cares? Who what? Okay. Sweater weather. So we're doing all.
I have
the
a
things.
sweater weather mug. I should bedazzle it.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
you should. So yeah, we're going through all the motions, and when they went to TCNJ over the summer, and then they went back again, and I just kind of knew in the back of my mind what I had told them on a car ride, actually back from Towson. I said, okay, gut feeling, you guys are going to get into TCNJ and want to go there. officially, I'd like you both to go to the same school.
Yeah.
Because I think logistically, for me, it would be better because not that I'm going to be the only one moving them, but my wife will probably be sobbing in a corner, putting something together while I'm doing the logistics of everything else. And that's no knock on my wife. She's actually said, like, yeah, I'll just give me something to do. I'll be fine. So logistically, it would just be, I think, better for the two of them. It also gives them a little built-in support system because they're their own people, but they are very close. So it's good that, like, they're going to be, like, on their own, but not on their own. So they wound up, choosing TCNJ because they got in.
Yay, go Lions.
Yes, go Lions, which is, again, where my wife and I went. And
then
a
they
great
would make
school.
out.
Yeah, not my children.
Duh, you and your wife, dummy. Come on.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of that. There was a lot of that. Yeah, it takes a while. We had a great experience there. The both of us met lifelong friends and, created relationships there that are very important to us. And, my daughter, when she was down in the Admitted Students Day, ran into, our friend and ran into her daughter who hadn't really made a decision yet. And they had talked a bunch of times before. And my daughter was like, yeah, why don't you just go here? We'll be roommates and whatever. And they're like, sure. So now they're going to room together, which is cool. They have their own little
Is
thing.
that officially official? Like they've decided?
Yeah, that's officially official. So
I love that.
Yeah. So now we're at the point where it's like they got to fill out the housing and fill out the forms and do all the things. And like, we did that, and like we didn't know if we were doing it right, and did we do it right, and did we submit it, and is it the time, and when are the things? So like now is like a whole other ball of wax of like figuring everything out. So
and also like please, I can't handle another portal.
Yep, there's another portal. And I also
I don't want any more portals. Leave me alone, portals.
And I've also used your line recently because I've said to my children, like, hey, we all got to have some patience here. I said, this is the first time I'm living. This is the first time I'm living this like. And back in my day, when we went to college, you filled out everything in paper and you had a system to call up on the phone to register for your classes, and you put in a code. Yeah. And phones are these things you call, you hit numbers.
And it would be like beep, pop, beep, pop, beep, pop.
Yep.
Ring, ring.
Like literally you get the busy signal. You'd have to call at a specific time, and you wanted to make sure you didn't have an 8 a.m. world history class with Dr. Karras because he was scary and mean. And had an eye patch. Was a big, like 6'7" guy with an eye patch. Oh, it looked like a pirate. Seriously, the guy looked like a Viking, and he would like have a hook for a hand and want to stab you. It was hysterical.
Just off the fjords.
Yeah, exactly. So, but now it's like everything is different, and like meal plans and housing and where they're going to stay, what they're going to do, and this and that group, and they join this and talk to these people. And so it's navigating all of that, but like just trying to get her, like both of my kids, like patience. We've never done this before. We want to make sure you do it correctly. We don't want you to have any mistakes and like miss something. So like, let's sit down. Let's do all of this stuff together.
Yes. So do they have an orientation?
Yeah.
Where they like go and like sleep over?
It's at some point in July. I don't think it's a sleepover thing though. I think it's literally like they go down for the day and then they come back, which seems a little inconvenient. I mean, not for us because we're close enough to drive in a day, but some people are not. And it's kind of a haul.
Drew's is a sleepover. And,
yeah, which is good.
Which is fine. I mean, it's fine. It's just there's a lot of portals. So there's like the housing portal, but then there's also your, I guess, registration, financial aid, paying, right? Like portal, and also passwords, and also like you have to invite your parents to see it.
Yes. Which we also just did. And my daughter was like, well, why do I want to do that? And I'm like, hey, honey.
Hey, girl.
We're kind of paying for this. So like, we kind of need to be like, yeah. We kind of,
right. I'm like, what? Sure. So of course, how did it go here? I'm like, like do all the things and like, yes, and accept and accept and accept. And Jason's like, Mom, good.
So I kind of sat as like I'm the calming influence. You can laugh now. I'm the calming influence to keep everybody
Yes.
like on the even
That's
keel.
true. No, I've seen that firsthand. That's
yeah,
true.
but even
Yeah.
there's even times when I lose it where I'm like, hey, look, like
Well, who does it?
like pump the brakes a little bit. We're all trying to figure this out. No one's out to get anyone. We're not trying to steal anybody's thunder. We're all
right.
just doing this together. So,
That's
there's some of that. So there's the journey of that. And for TCNJ, they've always done historically. I don't know if Stockton does it, but they do a welcome week, which is so like I think school starts on like a Monday, but all the freshmen have to be there on like a Thursday. And they stay over for the weekend. They do all sorts of activities with the freshmen. They do community building. They do, barbecues and s'mores and all the things. And
Nice.
it's really, really, really a highlight of everyone's freshman year because like there's nothing going on and they're just meeting new people and going around and playing games and doing things and, going to seminars and learning their schedule and meeting the people on their floor. Like it's a really exciting
The
time
culture
for them.
of that school is fantastic. I mean, even down to like the blue and white striped shirts of the ambassadors and like all of the people that are running the show, like the kids that are in charge of everything. It's it's all fantastic.
Like I went to Admitted Students Day and all the ambassadors are there and they're lined up in like a gauntlet and you're going through and they're cheering and they're clapping.
Yes.
And these are kids that are like admitted. They haven't accepted yet. And my
Right.
kids had already accepted, but nobody knew that. But like there is this culture around it. It has a
Yeah.
very high like graduation rate, a very
Yes.
low transfer rate because people
Yes.
get there
And they stay.
and they
love it.
stay because they like it because it's a great environment. So,
Yeah.
we'll see how everything plays itself out, of
Yeah.
course. But it's exciting that that the journey is beginning.
I know,
think
and I'm
they're-
excited for them to be like, yeah, you know where I'm going? Like, I'm going to go visit Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to, like, I love that. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like that I can see that in their future of like, you know what I'm going to
Absolutely.
do? I'm going to go visit Joe. Or like, I'm going to, Joe's
Well,
gonna
Drew will
come
have to
visit
come
me,
visit
or-
Joey because there's no car. So freshman year, there's no car on campus.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
So-
not like he's never going to be home or they're
No,
not going to
no,
have
of
different
course.
schedules or stuff like that. But yeah, I was like, I think it's going to be, and they are like little group, and not to like omit Sophia, but she has like sort of her own also like other crew, but the boys, like they were like really like stoked to kind of hear like who's going where, what they're doing, like, what's best for them. And like, yeah, isn't that great? And like, oh, they're doing this. I liked the whole sort of like vibe around like once they kind of all sort of, fell into like where they're going and what they're doing. I thought it ended up being really,
They had
really
one
nice
friend.
and-
They had one friend who literally waited until like the last possible day.
to the point where I was like texting his mom and was like, what's happening? And she's
Yeah.
like, we don't know
You
yet.
know,
And I'm like,
it's
how and why are
it's
you?
so-
And Drew's like, he's just doing it to like torture us. I'm like, I genuinely think he's still.
I genuinely think he did. Yeah,
He
I
was
genuinely think
weighing
he was
his-
still weighing his
Yeah.
options. You know,
Yes.
it's funny too because like they're such an interesting group, and I told you this story the other day. I think I told you this story with your son sitting there, and they're talking. They're prom. They're going to the prom. They're going to take a limousine, right? So I just absolutely love this story. And this was, please understand, audience, that when I say these things, everything was said through hysterical laughter, right? My son is like, oh, I think we might like rent a limo. So I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. It's like, do you want me to help you like get some information and then I'll show you what to do? I'll show you the limousine. Let me ask a couple people. I send it, you fill out those online quote things. So I'm like filling it out and they start asking you questions about like the event. So it's like a school event. It's prom. The limousine companies are all familiar with this, right? So I'm like, hey, what time does like the prom? Are you guys going to like do pictures beforehand? I don't know. So my son, I don't know. So like, yeah. So like, do you think like, what time do you have to be there by? What time do you got to be down at the prom? Like, where? My son. I don't know. I don't know. And then so I'm like kind of chuckling. I'm like, all right, well, wait a minute. Where is the prom again? He's like, I
Question
mean,
is that?
you're asking me. That's what he says. He says, you're asking me. I'm like, well, you're the one going. And I'm like, hey, what time do you have to be home? And he's like cracking up at this point. He's like, I don't know. It's whatever time we're going to be home. I'm like, I don't know what time. So literally I look at him. We're both cracking up at this point. And he's driving. We're going to get our haircut. I just look at him. I was like, Joe, you are useless. I was like, in the most endearing way possible. Like, you literally know nothing. How many people
And I'm
do you
sure
need
he
for
like smiled with his little dimple and was like, yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
how many people do you think are going to be in a limo? And he's like,
I don't know. 30. It could be anywhere from 8 to 13 million. No one knows.
13, 8 to their entire graduating class. It just was so fun. It was such a funny thing.
We were at Accepted Students Day, and we ran into a kid that Drew has not only been in marching band with, but swim. He sees him like a lot of days of the week they're together. And I know his mom, and I'm like, oh, like, are you guys checking it out? And she's like, oh, he's committed here. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Drew. And he's like, I don't know. What? Genuinely and truly, what in the heck do they talk about?
I don't know.
Because this is like a lot among, and it's like, do you just like look at each other's phones and giggle? Is there, right? Like, I know they all share a true love of the following. Number 1, cologne. Number 2, football.
They were here for the NFL
3,
draft.
food.
They're at my house.
Chili's.
They're at my house for the NFL draft, right? All the boys are here. They're all watching the NFL draft, and they're getting excited about who's getting drafted, and they're talking to each other. And I go downstairs, and the smells. There's so many. There's so many different. I was like, Joe, next time you guys get together, you guys got to decide on like an avenue of what scent you want to wear.
Right, like we're all going to go fall. We're all going to go oaky.
Yeah.
We're going to go.
Yeah,
right.
There was a lot going on. And then they're just a bunch of really smart dummies, which is great because they're all smart kids. Right. And one of their friends is like, hey, the only reason I came here is for the BCD. So we're at the Buffalo Chicken Dip. Yeah. So they all start chanting BCD, BCD. And I'm like, what is happening? They're just in the most endearing way possible. They're just such a good nerdy little group of kids.
So nice. But it's like, do you guys ever talk about
that we don't have to worry about?
I mean, thank goodness.
We don't. We don't have to worry about. So which is great. Yeah. So
just like keep your colognes in check, fellas.
Yeah, keep your colognes in check.
Yeah. But the one did say to Drew, like, they were kind of all waiting for him to make the decision, and then he did say, like, yeah, because I've been like, I'm obsessed with like the Colonia commits. Like, I love looking at their pictures and their baby pictures and what music they choose. And and he, I guess, must have said, because I was like, oh, I didn't see him like on the Colonia commits. And Drew's like, yeah, Mom. He was like, where is that? Like, he wouldn't know how to do it, or, and I was like, that kind of tracks. But yeah. And it's so funny. Like, it's so classic Drew. I was like, where are you going to do it? And he was like, well, I have to change my major and I can't. I'm like, of course you can't put it online until, and it was like, your like major change is not, it was like from like bio to like health sciences. It was just like a small, anyway, but he did it. And I do really like seeing, there's so many of them from like when they were, when
they were little, like
and you're like,
girls,
oh my God.
Girls that I coached on Sophia's soccer team and stuff like that, like where they're going and what they're doing. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Melancholy, but exciting.
Oh my goodness. We say that in our house, like quite often, like, do you have the melancholy? And sometimes like that is, we say like, oh, we're in a quarrel. That's also like, if you're having any feelings, it's like, give me some space. I have a touch of the melancholy. And that and it is so true. It's like, oh, it's so bittersweet. And it's so,
as the, and you don't want to wish time away, but you watch the clock ticking and it's like, okay, we're getting to a point where once this episode is released, we're very close to the prom. We're very close
wherever it may be.
Wherever it may, I mean, somewhere.
No one knows.
How are you guys getting there? I guess carpool. I guess that was Drew's answer the other day when I came over.
And he was like, "Oh yeah,
we're
gonna
I guess we're just gonna carpool."
I still want Jason to dress up and drive them. Cheerio. Put them in the back seat of the car.
That would be fantastic. I would love everything about that.
I mean, I don't know, the idea of like driving to the prom is so foreign to me.
Yeah, we drove to the junior prom because it was actually at the high school.
What school?
Because it was decorated and stuff. They do it at a place now. But,
no, yeah. I mean, my high school was so teeny tiny that we had junior senior prom. So like all the juniors and seniors went together. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been a prom because there were so few kids. So we had a joint, which was like a little bit meh. I guess by the time you're like a senior, you're like, oh, I just, It wasn't separate. I do like the idea of like the separation of it, making it more special and that kind of thing. But
Well, in the one-room schoolhouse where I went to school, we had just had a giant cotillion where everyone would come from miles around. And it normally would be a week before where they'd all take their horses and buggies. These are all old jokes. Thank you for playing along.
Of course.
Okay.
And they would
you
have
look
to
very confused there.
You'd have to bring a bit of coal and
Yes, you
light
would.
the lamp fires and yeah, of course.
The biggest concern was the feed for the horses on the return journey. It was very difficult.
Somebody at school actually was talking today about doing a class trip for this year's, like the current 6th graders for when they are in 8th grade. And I was like, yes, I'm there. Let's do it.
Was this the DC thing? They're going to try and bring it back? Yeah.
Yes.
We tried that a couple years ago, I remember.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm doing it.
Again, there are more milestones. You know, it's this year has been milestones for the two of us, right? With different things that we've accomplished with the show, with our careers, and unfortunately some other milestones that kind of change your courses of life, right?
Yeah.
But we're kind of in that season where there is some excitement towards seeing what our kids' futures are going to look like, right? So it's very exciting to be a part of that journey and to have this as almost like a little catalog to look back on and see those episodes where we talked about, oh, so worried, where are they going to, and hear the consternation in our voices. But now it's like, they figured it out.
Yeah. And, my current project or my future,
God bless.
Me. Thank you. Is I'm starting a list for the summer of places I would like to go and things I would like to do.
Oh, okay.
They almost all involve like happy hour.
Oh.
And so of course you're pre-invited. Okay?
I'm pre-invited. Okay.
Yes.
Can I get a little preview here? Like, do we have any?
Oh my goodness. I mean, there's so many places. You remember this summer of I can't say it. Yes, there was like a phrase that my sister would say. It was like one summer and it was like, this summer is but the SH word and then the ASS word.
Yeah.
And it was just like the most ridiculous phase. And, and it was like, gosh, like this is crazy. Anyway.
She might have said that. She might have said that under the duress of a couple of cocktails.
I mean,
I think that was the day we were on the beach and you and your sister
were ordering Chinese food.
No. It was the day that you and your sister were like, oh, we're just going to go down to the bar and use the bathroom. And 2 hours go by and they come back. And then they're ordering Chinese food inebriated on the beach. And my daughter's favorite story about your sister, Janine, is like you're trying to order and your sister's just like, chicken fried rice. Get the chicken fried rice. She's just like screaming chicken fried rice. And she's not very far away. It's like, why is she screaming chicken fried rice? Why are you screaming?
Recently, and this is now Jason's favorite thing, we were making a list of wine and beer and like what was appropriate for my mom's repast. And and so Jason, of course, was tasked with going and buying all of that to bring to the restaurant. And we were driving and I'm like, okay, we're going to need like a Pinot Grigio. We're going to need a Cabernet Sauvignon, and I mean, not me. I drink a Moscato or a Riesling. I'm very low class when it comes to wine. And then she starts doing exactly what you just said. Scream. Now, we were in the car together. She was driving. I was and she was screaming, it has to be from New Zealand. Now, Jason, a dog with a bone. Like the minute that something tickles him, all he can do now is walk around and randomly scream, New Zealand! And if it's not from New Zealand, I don't want anything to do with it.
That's fantastic.
Classic. But yes, I'm starting a list and it's very, we're going to, all the things. We're doing
So what's
it.
on, give me a little preview. What's on the list? I actually have one. I think there's one that we need to do.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Strickland's Happy Hour. Have to do it. Have been wanting to do it for 3 years. Have not since they opened. Have to do it. Also, I would like to go to the new place in Woodbridge that's called like Violette or whatever it's called. Chan. I want to go there also.
Okay.
Number 3, I want to go to the Sea Warren whatever outside.
The Tiki Bar.
Yes.
My buddy,
there.
my friend Cletus goes there all the time. He actually called me this weekend. It was like, oh, I'm going to watch the Knicks game over there. Do you want to go? People go there all the time.
But not me.
Yeah.
I want to go.
People.
Cletus, call me. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going. And also I want to go to Hotel LBI. I want to go upstairs to the roof.
Yes.
Because they apparently have like a rooftop bar. I also want to go there.
Is that accessible if you're not staying there, though? That's what we need to find out.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is. Yes,
You've already looked into it. Got it.
I have. And will I, the greatest mystery of all time, will I ever get to, what's the one when you go over the bridge and it's on the right on the way home?
Oh,
whatever that is.
The shipyard.
I've never been there. Boatyard.
Me neither. The boatyard. Yeah. Never
and every time I'm like, oh, it looks great. And I never go. But yes, that's also on the list.
Yes.
So, the list has just started. I
mean, mine are not alcohol related. I have an ice cream related one.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like we need to go to that new place in Red Bank. There's
Colleen said that to me recently.
The Scoop and Scootery. The Scoop and Scootery thing. There's like a line. We got to go.
That's right. We're going. And I would like to go to, I was referencing our chocolate chip cookie tour the other day.
Yeah, that was fun.
With like such great affection. And I was like, we have to cook up one of those again. Like it doesn't have to be chocolate chip cookies. It could be something else. But I feel like a fun tour, and it doesn't even have to be in the city. It could be somewhere else. But I feel like, oh, that would be so great.
Maybe we do an ice cream tour before Sophia goes back to college.
School.
I'm sure she'd love that. So I'll talk to her. But yeah, I know.
And I'll be crying too. The melancholy, I can't.
Yeah. Well, we hope that you guys are going to check out our article for sure, and that you'll listen to us as we go towards the end of our season, as we recap and figure out, did we do this right? We'll figure it out. We're just living life on our own all at the first time.
It's just my first time living.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. So don't forget, by the way, that who's our season 3 sponsored by again? Who is that?
Season 3 is brought to you and me and everybody by our presenting sponsor, Teachers Insurance Plan. Check out their website below or in the description for more information to get a quote. Teachers Insurance Plan, auto insurance that brings exclusive educator savings and exceptional customer care to New Jersey and Pennsylvania, educational employees, and you too could bedazzle your Jersey teacher mug.
Yes, you can, because, you should bedazzle everything. All right, everybody. Jamie, I appreciate you, as always.
Joe, I appreciate you so much, all your support. We are, sliding into the end of the school year. Here we go.
Yeah. We got to get done with Maycember first, and then I think I'll be able to take a breath.
Got it.
Right. Yeah, we'll see everybody next time on the Balancing Act podcast, and hopefully I will not have pulled my hair out.
Bye.
Bye.
Look for the Balancing Act podcast every week on your favorite podcast platform. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Thank you for being a part of our audience. We appreciate you.